Hello and welcome. My name is Sheep Thief, and today I'll be coming at you with a Age of Mythology replay analysis. So this is a set mirror between me and someone named Relic. Oh, I am not very used to set, so I've played him a couple times, but I'm not super confident with him. I've been playing mostly Loki, which you guys probably know. So I go for 4 vills on. I'm not really sure how you're going to be able to tell the difference between. So I'm red, so I'm over here. But I go for 4 vills on food and then start putting them onto gold. I scout with the baboon and then start trying to get this rhinoceros. My opponent used vision on me right away. Not really sure why. I think it's better to wait on that and do it when it's right around when you're aging up, so you can kind of see what they're doing. I start attacking this priest, but I just stay on the rhinoceros because he's doing so little damage. What's he doing with his baboon? Attacking a zebra. Okay. I have the pharaoh on this. I don't know if that's right or wrong. He's ahead of me by a vill, barely. He has his on auto queue, so that's probably what's going on. I get the rhinoceros, and then he runs away, which to me means he must think that this is now a losing fight. I'm not quite sure. It's good against humans. Okay. Yeah, not a lot to say. I get my gold for my temple and just shift everyone onto food. Over here I get an obelisk. I think I need to be spamming the obelisks way more. Another question I have is whether or not I should be putting more villagers on this so it's built faster. Quite possibly. Just a little confused about how I would get up in time. So something's not quite right with my build, but that's okay. And I think I dump it off and go up. Yeah, with Anubis. 13, so he's gonna have one more vill on me. I get these houses up. I think the houses are free, so I just sort of throw them up there. Blocking off this entrance. The wallability of this map isn't terrible. Like, I could get, at the very least, I think a lazy wall would just be, honestly, right across here, and then making sure I get back there. And then it's just this broad place right here. But I, spoiler alert, did not do that. He does end up 2 vills ahead, but we are substantially ahead as far as age up time. I get this because I see this thing which makes villagers cheaper. I'm not entirely sure by how much.
Greek.
15%, so decently cheaper. So I get up through Anubis. And one thing I'm not really liking is how sort of passive I am with these animals. I think I could definitely be doing something with them. I know if you're aggressive with them and you get them in their base, that's basically free food for them. And I've actually like having played a few games this set, I've seen some pretty epic food. Sort of after a battle with these animals, there's food everywhere, so it's definitely adds up. The goat situation is not looking great for me. I have 8, he has 11, so way more goats. He gets a rhinoceros as well. I'm running around with my Anubite, and run into his priest, who for some reason doesn't attack me. We get some healing onto it. Over here, I definitely think in order to do this properly, I need to have more than one villager making these production buildings, because these villagers take forever to build. Like, seriously forever.
You need to.
33 seconds is way too long. And he goes for a TC. We got the same number of vills. He's ahead of me slightly in terms of how they're coming out, but essentially the same. He's got the obelisk, the defensive obelisk. We get in on this anti-bite. Looks like he kind of forgets about it. Getting some good hits off there. And this does help us scout what's going on here. And he's healing the anti-bite. I would think he'd be wanting that to just go up faster. This is where I think if I had some units up already, like if I had an extra 15 or 30 seconds, they could be getting over here. He puts Plague of Skeletons down, and that does effectively protect this area. And I get my priest out barely. The goat situation is actually kind of improving. I've got goats all over the place. Let's look at the scouting situation. So I did use vision at one point, so I've got an okay idea of his base. He has definitely not scouted as much as I have. I think I'm doing a decent job of spending my resources. You can see that I'm a little low on them. I get the second TC up after him, so he's ahead by 2. And now I just need to make sure I've got food income coming in. So all these villagers are on wood, which is super inefficient. Over here we are out of zebras and have transitioned over to this. And now you can see I'm stalling here, and he's pulling ahead on vills, five vills ahead. So this was a little poorly coordinated. But we do have the cheaper vills, so that's nice. 6 vills ahead. We pull this rhinoceros in, which is strong. 7 vills ahead, not good, not good. There we go. Things get going again, so that's nice. But he's going to be almost 10 villagers ahead because of that stall right there. So I need to make sure I've got food income going if I'm going for this double TC thing, which I'm not used to with my like low-key H2 pressure 1 TC game style. And you can see how just the bars are creeping back into his favor with this villager lead that he's enjoying. We have a slightly bigger army. I'm a little unclear of what to do as Egyptians in Age 2, because, like, you know, these units cannot go underneath, like, arrow fire at all. They have no pierce resistance. I guess the slingers sort of can, but they're useless against everything except archers. So I'm not really sure. He does seem to have a 10 villager lead. But I've got, one thing I did is I've got this baboon set watching this to make sure he's not going for a 3 TC kind of thing. He sent some spearmen over, which ought to die. They don't kill anything. And the TC gets some pretty solid shots onto that. Over here, I'm starting to stack up a few too many resources. He's got major gold issues. I'm not quite sure why. He's way over investing into food. I'm just looking for anywhere to probe with this little army here. This Plague of Serpents is really well placed back here. I should have, I mean, did I know that there was a hunt back there? I did, so I could have checked that maybe. Definitely could have checked that. 'Cause that in retrospect was the place to target. And he gets 25 villagers onto gold now. But we're building up a solid army here, so I'm not... like, looking at the bars, we're actually doing pretty well. It's just because he's stacking so much up while he's trying to get up to the next stage. I bet he'll click up pretty soon here. And we actually go for, I believe... Maybe not. Maybe not. We don't do that yet, actually. We go for this gold mine over here. He clicks up with Nephthys. So that'll mean ancestors. But our army is starting to grow. I know he's booming. He gets his towers up, which, like I said, look at these units are not good for age 2 pressure. I've got this line of barracks here. What I would like to see myself do better is have it connect to this wall in a wall. Egyptians, I don't know, they don't really seem like a particularly raid-heavy civilization, but they are definitely vulnerable to raiding. So I think just, you guys get it, you know, if having the instinct be to make the wall properly and efficiently is basically, I've had it completely foil my plans before, so I should do it to others. Got this kind of tercio here. Pulling here. I'm kind of wondering whether or not how hard to push. I see him go up. I didn't quite notice whether or not he went for Nephthys or not. But this Plague of Serpents is certainly annoying. I've caught up on Vils, but I'm in the wrong age, so it's not gonna be that. So there's a bit of an illusion there. I know I have to get up. He's getting some upgrades. I think I already have a lot of upgrades. I think I got a lot of my eco upgrades, so I'm enjoying a decent resource advantage. But he'll start to catch up there. He's only making one villager at a time right now. We are cut up on Vils, and I do click up. So if he keeps just making one, then we'll continue to be caught up with him. And over here I go for the third TC. He's not attacking me, and I've got an eye on this other thing, and so I'm kind of thinking, you know, let's try to outboom him. I've got an okay army. I'm a little worried about him just stomping me down with something pretty much exactly like this, a bunch of siege weapons that'll be hard to fight against in age 2. I think this was his timing right here. If he'd gone over here right now, that would have been good for him.
And which?
This army is very, very, like, inactive, passive right now. I don't really know what to do with them. So this is something I'm going to have to overcome with the way I play Nephthys, or the way I play a set. So, one thing, this was really helpful, getting obelisks up just for vision. I think I'm going to start doing that way more. He's got these siege units, he's missing a lot of support. But we're up to a three villi production here, so we're going to start to pull ahead economically pretty hard. We get these obelisks up, and as you can see, the vision is very nice. Look at that. We get an idea of what's going on with the serpents. We got an eye on this gold mine. Like, I'm going to start using, if I play more set, I'm going to start doing that all the time. So he knows, we both know each other are up, and we're both being kind of noobs here by not spending our resources. I think what I'm kind of trying to figure out is, I've got the siege works going up, making spearmen. He's going for Migdol. I know I need to get a Migdol soon. I'm sort of wondering whether or not to go for some, like, quick mythic age. But we're both just booming here, kind of boring. and he's pulling ahead in resources for sure, catching up with army. So, not really sure here. We do have a growing Vil lead. Just got a ton of idle Vils here, but this is now a pretty nasty army. He's on medium. He's on heavy. Oh, we're both on heavy. Okay. I try killing these this plague of serpents, and I go for one, and he goes for a counter. So, kind of getting in here, messing up his eco quite a bit. But he shows up here and is going to completely mess up this thing. I get these plague of serpents in here to help fight this. Just kind of disrupt, but what I'm trading is a TC, and he pops ancestors onto me, which will be a major issue for this army that's already fighting underneath Migdol fire instead of just sort of weird positioning here. I put the ancestors up here, and they do not fare as well unsupported. Maybe slowing him down a little bit. He gets these spears coming through here, and we still managed to get a villager lead here. But I've got these 3 siege units coming in here. I believe I get the villagers kind of into the fight here, sort of. I don't want this to go down. We have axemen, thankfully, coming in here, so they counter the spearmen, and we're able to get on top of these. I have some of the villagers returned. One siege tower goes down. We've got more axemen coming in here, so we've got the counter. But this is painful. He does another plague of serpents in here. Yeah. So he goes for another plague of serpents to help win this fight, but we do pull ahead with the axemen. Start cleaning these up, and the Migdol stronghold stays up, which is really good for us. But we have lost this TC, and he takes it. So now he's up to 3, and we're pretty much even on Vils. But again, he'll start to pull ahead. Although right now that is starting to mean a little less, just because we're like later in the game now. So I get a siege tower going forward, and we've got these axemen coming over here onto the TC, and I'm just like, look how much damage they take. Like, Pierce armor is bad. So I'm just learning that the Egyptians are not good under TCs. Axemen get onto these priests, which is good for us, but the siege tower is undefended. Got 2 villagers shanking here. Look at their shanks. But under the TC, the axemen are not doing well, but we are causing a bunch of idle time for him, and definitely some deaths for Vils. Over here, I stopped kind of worrying about repairing this, and send another wave of soldiers in here to try to win this fight. And despite the losses, I do just want to like do this. Another fight with all these villagers. Again, it's kind of good. It's hard to micro them, so we do end up getting a bunch of picks here. The siege tower is kind of messing up. I need to fit more spearmen into this because he's doing camels. I'm stacking up way too many resources. You can see this is one of my weaknesses. Try to work on. And the TC is half health, and we've killed probably about 20 villagers. So honestly, 20 villagers is a worthy exchange here, especially considering the fact that a lot of these axemen are still alive and picking off the reinforcements that are coming in. See, our army numbers are higher, and so I'm just realizing the issue here is mainly a siege tower issue. So I pull him forward, and he gets back on his TC. But we I'm enjoying a solid villager lead here. We've got units kind of trickling in. It's not ideal. I do kind of fix that. Gather points are a little off, but you can see the units are starting to stream in a little bit. I've got a food issue and a bunch of idle villagers, so it doesn't really matter if I've got all these extra villagers if 20 of them aren't working. But we're getting it here. Slingers are unupgraded, not ideal, especially against trade archers. His aren't really either, though. Major army lead, but like, yeah, as you can see, the sort of a lack of upgrades. But we go in with this swarm of siege towers, which will clear this up. And we got nice heavy spearman here. He does another ancestors on top of these siege towers, so he really doesn't want me to take this. But the spearmen are in the right place, and it looks like these siege towers are kind of holding up against the minions. Kind of start trying to do some harm to this Migdal. I'm assuming these are kind of finished, but just a chaotic situation here. Idle villagers all over the place. Slingers picking off villagers that are wandering who knows where. Spearmen fighting these ancestors once again. So, villager lead is still in our favor. Not really sure where we stopped making. Oh, I think we're at the max. And he attacks here again, so he brings in a ton of vills to shank this. He doesn't like the presence of this thing here. And we find our animals from back here, which help clear this up. We also have a scorpion man, which will be really strong against these vills. And he starts trading. And we've just annihilated our armies at each other. Like, look, the numbers are just gone. I have had to slowly get my resources back up, but I mean, I have all these resources, but I haven't spent them. So here we go. I start spending some of them, and I'm trying to get this TC back. Keep the boom in my favor. I'm a little worried about him getting up to the next age. He's out of food, but he kills my TC there, unfortunately. Over here, looks like I'm going for mostly axemen, but some spearmen mixed in there. Definitely, like, really badly need those upgrades. Not doing a great job of using my resources for the umpteenth time. And do I click up? Or do I just spend all that money on? Just a lot of infantry. Oh, over here I attack with the Scorpion Man and 2 siege towers on this undefended base. He just doesn't have anything to defend it right now. So that's a big loss for him as far as villager production goes, and he is down at about 50% of the villagers that I have. And over here, we're just finally getting these out, and with that, we attack the market, which is always disruptive. At this point, I'm kind of trying to demoralize this guy. I'm worried about him getting up to the next stage. Trade thing goes down, and we push over here for the Migdal and start getting this up, and then click up with horse. So I think all of that could have occurred 8 minutes ago, maybe 5 minutes ago, but we did finally pull it together. And as you can see, once the resources are spent, the win kind of comes in. So that was that. Thank you for watching. I will try to play more Set. I'm not as big of a fan of it as I am of Loki. It feels really kind of not as strong, but I'm gonna keep at it and try to get a higher rank, because I think I could push higher with Loki, but I don't want to get locked into one hero too much. But I'll go back to him at some point. I think the other one I'm trying to decide between Poseidon and Zeus as well, because I want to do some Greek. Hades is too campy for me. Zeus is cool. You can't thunderbolt villagers anymore, which sucks. But I like Hercules. I also like Atalanta, so we'll see. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.